Millie passed away on Monday. Testing, testing. Beep boop. Is it working? I don't know. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera. Yes, there's no point in y'all watching me cry all day. Hey Randy, I think I'm having a whole mess of tech problems. Could you check sound and stuff on your end? Okay, hey Eric. Okay, hey Eric says yes, we can hear you a bit blurry.
It's a bit blurry and
Okay.
laggy.
Well, I just switched over to space internet instead of house internet.
Yeah, don't do house internet.
Oh, okay. She passed away this Monday. While we were gone, taking Maddie back home, she tore up and ate a whole mess of her baby blanket. And our house sitter, because Millie's been chewing stuff up that's always been like a problem, but she hadn't chewed that baby blanket. But the house sitter didn't think anything of it. And then the next day, we got a message that she was having, diarrhea. And so, it was a little bit like, oh, your dog's not white anymore. She's brown because she's just plastered in poop. And we were like, oh, shit. So we got home, and it was real late Sunday evening. And she wouldn't being her usual self. Like, she was really, just low energy, dejected. And then she started throwing up. And by the time we got her to the vet, when they opened Monday morning, it was too late. So we were hopeful whenever we brought her in, because we had called the vet whenever when we scheduled. We were hopeful that she'd be able to go into surgery and she'd be okay. So we just gave her a quick kiss bye and sent her into surgery. And they called us about 6 hours later and said it was the worst case. They said it was the worst case that they've seen of it being entangled, and that we could remove about 60% of her intestines, but that there wasn't really much of a survival rate, much less one with a quality of life, a survival rate. And so we chose mercy. And sorry, I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold my shit together, but she was kind of all of our puppy in a way. She, like, first time y'all met her was in that live stream, not a live stream, the shop update, just a little over a year ago. And anybody who watched the vlog and stuff got to see her grow up. And she was our little parvo puppy, so it was lucky that she had made it at all. And but man, she helped keep, like, it's been almost a year exactly since we lost Sam, but he had had a nice full long doggy life behind him. He was 12 years old. But Millie coming into our life, I think, helped all of us remain ourselves through grieving Sam. Sam's brother, didn't have to be alone. Randy and I had, those new puppy energy to keep us afloat through trudging through our grief. And now it feels like my best friend was visiting for a year and she had to go home. And I just miss her. And that's Z in the background trying to throw up all the grass he ate earlier today. He's thoroughly enjoying being an only child, is the only way I can think to put it. We've been smothering him in all of our love, and we're all just holding on to each other, trying to get through. So, thank you guys so much. I can't go through and read all comments out loud right now because that's the opposite of holding my shit together. And I really am gonna try to not gurgle snot in your ear all day. So what we're working on today is this. I think Randy had gotten me this little concrete or whatever, faux stone sun and moon from like a dollar store or maybe Fred's back whenever we lived in Tennessee. And you can see it didn't hold up through the winter one year. And I'm going to add a crystal bridge down the center. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I've been dreading doing a live stream because by somehow admitting openly that she's gone, it's another necessary layer of the grief, I think. So thank you guys for being here and sharing this with us today. And so I'm going to be doing a little crystal ridge down the center in the same style as what I did for Randy's sneak snail, if y'all remember that video. Give me just a sec. I'm going to mute the microphone because I'm going to blow my nose. Okay, I hope that was muted because that was... So, but yeah, I'm going to be doing this in the same way that I did Randy's sneak snail. So I've got a lazy Susan here, just to kind of keep everything so I'm not having to constantly move it. And I'm going to be using epoxy sculpt a little later, and so I'll dig out some gloves for working with that. But to start with, I'm using Cos Clay in one of their glow-in-the-dark colors. So I don't remember which glow-in-the-dark color this is, but we'll find out. I don't know if it's blue or green really, but we'll get surprised either way. And I just had this wrapped in regular old plastic wrap. I guess I should have tested it before wrapping it in the plastic wrap, like with a small bit, but it's been sitting there for over a month and there has been no reaction between the plastic wrap and the clay. So I feel like this is probably going to be how I store my Cos clay when it's still in big chunks like that, just to keep all the filth out. It says it's green. But I am going to be going back through and rereading everybody's like kind wishes and stuff, but I'm just not ready yet. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, the idea, Mama Salty, is to, with each crystal that I put in here, I'm going to try to associate a memory with it. And so I'm gonna be just a mess all stream. And oh, the crystals that we're using today were sent to me, but I got, like, I want to make sure that there's no I'm gonna be giving away anybody's address, but it was one of these were in this dear postal customer, we sincerely regret the damage to your mail during handling by the postal service. And it looks like it was from our friend Rachel. But it looks like the original box got absolutely destroyed. So I don't know if there's anything missing. But there wasn't a note. But there were these crystals. These beautiful crystals in this package that you'd sent to us. And these are going to be what I'm using today. And I mean, they're just gorgeous. And so I hope, well, I mean, we don't take custom work or anything. I just found myself hoping, it's like, I hope they didn't send all these, hoping I'd make them something and send it back. But, Rachel, if you're watching this, please let us know if it's okay to use these crystals. But I'm going to go ahead and use some of them. Just, it feels right. And that's something we had talked about. You know, Randy and I have been leaning on each other really hard. God, and it just, the house feels so empty because Maddie's gone home. And we've been leaning on each other really hard. And it's been just a cocktail of emotions because, well, my heart hurts so bad. There's still so much joy. I love Z. I love Ember. I love Randy. And having them in my life, it's to have in the past couple of years lost so much, but to still have so much is what a blessed life that is. And so there's the bittersweet of having had Millie and lost her, but there's also, she made our life a lot better for the rest of our life just by having been in it for that little bit. So you'd think grief seems to have been our constant companion since finding out that Sam had cancer, and you'd think I'd have it figured out by now. But the only thing I've learned of grief is to just, it's just a wave that I've got to ride out. I'm sure everybody handles it differently, but we've been focusing on taking care of our meat suits and keeping the house in order, and just, if we can stay fed and hydrated and just hold each other and cry as much as we need to, then we'll get through eventually. The storm can't last forever. Yeah. Hey, Laura. Hey, Sea Kitty. Oh, man. Yeah. No, I think anybody who's had a pet or a loved one pass knows I mean, it just sucks. Like, there's not really not much more to it, I guess. It is what it is. They are, Kim, they really are. Oh my god, look at the clarity on that one. Our sweet puppy Millie passed away at a little over a year old. And we're making her a memorial. And also, if y'all can hear like a fan or something, that's because it's hot. It's really hot in here. So I'm not turning the fan off for the sake of sound quality. So I guess, I don't know, am I using all of these? Probably. Oh my god, those are so pretty. Oh my god, and they're sorted by size. Okay, I'm probably gonna use, I don't know. I don't even know, man. I'm just gonna art it out. Thank you, Ariel. Ooh, I really like that one. Oh, that one's just gorgeous. Hey, Randy, could you help me with something? Could you... Oh, shoot, should I do foil? This is coming out way bigger. It's going to be amazing. I love it already. But it's coming out way bigger than the 6-inch tile that I'd brought over to bake it on. So...
Where's your massive tile?
I don't know. I think I lost that like a year and a half ago. But it is somewhere in the house. But I was thinking, do you know where that big round pizza dish is that we've been used to use for polymer clay? I love that, man. So much. Hey, Witch and Gnome. Going insane trying to price all these collectibles her mom gave us to sell tomorrow at the flea market. Oh, right on. Tara says, I'm so sad for you. Empathy, love, and healing vibes leaving my heart and reaching out to yours. Thank you, Tara. And thank you guys so much for being here and just sharing and kind of the process of, I guess, playing with my rocks until my heart doesn't hurt so bad. Look at how perfect that one is. Oh, where were they?
The very last place I looked.
Well, I'm glad you didn't keep looking. Thank you. Well, where was the last place you looked?
Count router things on the bottom.
Ah. So that's where I hid it. Alright. So now I get to figure out how in the heck. I'm gonna do this without spilling my sweet tea. Oh, these are the Sculpting brand tissue blade. I don't know if they still sell it, but sorry, I think I had seen a question. About the tissue blades. It accepts really basically any tissue blade I've ever put in it, though I don't really change them out that often. And then it just slides to clip on. Okay. Hey, Pro. Thank you, Denise. And I love that idea. I think the one that I'm going to keep is this one. Because I like how it's got the little crystal clusters there on its booty. And I'm going to use some of the same glow-in-the-dark clay to do a little band around here. And then I would like to do like wire and then put copper tape over it and, you know, make it to where it can be electroformed. And we'll definitely do a video sharing how we do that with y'all. Eric, they are Sculpey, just tissue blade. Like I would search Sculpey tissue. Actually, I'm a grown person with the internet. Let me search this for you on the Amazon. Ooh, now those are a bit different. Huh. Okay, so I'm not seeing the one that I had originally gotten, but I'm gonna link you um, to what looks like the modern equivalent. So let's see. Right on, Witch and Gnome. Chainmail inlay is intense. Also, y'all, number one way to cheer me up is to talk work. So if y'all have any questions about literally anything, uh, I would love to just chat. Okay, so I'm setting this on here because I was thinking about, as I do each of the crystals, I'm going to put them kind of corresponding, but I actually think I'm going to set this off to the side. So now that I've gotten everything all situated, ooh, I found a chicken feather. That's a nutmeg feather right there. Hey Hawk says, okay, I have a question. If I order a booty box, do I have the option to pay extra so that you can groove a cab? No, we don't have options for that. The best way that I can recommend would be to any cabs that we have that can be grooved are listed for sale on our website. So if you'd like a grooved one, that would be the route to take. What's 2 plus 2? 4. Ooh, Eric says, I have a question about making a bail for a shaved shell out of leather cord. Help. I don't, what's a shaved shell? That sounds awesome. Out of leather cord. What thickness of leather cord are you using? Because my first thought comes to maybe doing a Turk's head knot. Let me see if I can sculpt the knot that I mean. Okay, I would search the term Turk's head knot ring. And there are some tutorials that you can find online for doing that, but it's the one that looks like, hey, I've got you right here. We can just look at it. It's the one like that. Depending on the thickness of the cord, you could braid that together, and you can see here they did just as I would, where it looks like they used a spot of glue, and just that way, you might be able to weave that through the hole of the shell. It really depends on the size of the hole and the thickness of your cord. Hey, Sabaya! Oh, she says, hey friends, popping in to say, I'm alive! Healing has started and I got my voice back today. Oh, Sabaya, it's so good to see you. Ooh, Boca says, I'm planning on starting vending. Can we talk about pricing our work, please? Yes. What I recommend to folks, the very base, and I answered an email about this recently. I'm wondering if I should remake a video. I'm getting a lot of questions about this. But if I spend $5 on the materials, I cannot charge less than $15 for it. Now that isn't including any time or skill, like anything like that. It is purely just based on the materials, which is something that can fluctuate over time, which is why it's always the first thing that I look for. So Um, and so again, it's just you whatever you spent, you multiply it by 3, and that's my base price for charging for it. Now from beyond there, um, I would start looking at just what other folks on the market are doing. So I typically will go to Etsy or something and search, let's say, wire wrapped quartz crystal, or even better, electroformed quartz crystal. Um, and so I would look and see and be like, okay, these are crystals of similar size, and these are electroforms that are of similar complexity. Um, or it could be crystal set in polymer clay, like whatever material you're using, just substitute, accordingly in whatever it is that you're searching. Um, and then I would look at, how's their quality compared to my quality, to kind of, and I'm being very pragmatic here. This isn't a peeing race. It's just did they do a thicker electroform build on theirs than what I did on mine? Because that's something that I should consider when pricing my work into where it fits into the existing market. Because it's never a good strategy to just try to undercut everyone. And that's a strategy that I see a lot of newcomers to any craft. Oops, dude. Oh Lord. Um, and I think sometimes it's a good idea to just trust in the wisdom of your elders and trust that if they've been in business long enough and they're having their prices that high, or as if, however high as they are, if they were undercutting themselves, they would have never made it that far. So the folks who come in, there's always a flush of new folks who are charging too little for their work. So it's like $5 in materials and they're only charging 8 for the final price, or something. It's like that's not even enough to repurchase the materials and barely pay yourself to make it again, much less whatever living expenses and things. Anyways, I feel like I'm getting off on a side quest there. But I compare my work to theirs, see how, you can look on Etsy and see how many sales a store has made. Sometimes they'll have that public. You'll be able to see how long their store has been around. And just those are things that, again, you can kind of see, who's being successful in a way that you want to emulate. And don't rip off their work, like, but you can still do a case study of like 10 different um, crafters. Because I am of the opinion that, and I live by this, that there's enough money out there for all of us to be successful. Like, as an artist, I can only create so much in a day before it's just like work. So there's room for each of us as artisans to be successful, and so if you come at it with a little bit more of an abundance mindset than, I gotta undercut them and put these other businesses out of. No, it's like the more people who know about wire wrapped jewelry, the better my business is gonna do. I want everybody to learn how to make wire wrapped jewelry, because next time they walk by your booth with your, handmade things, they're gonna have a better appreciation and a more understanding of what's going into your pricing. So that's, now that I've officially lost my original train of thought, I do hope that that answered your question. And if you have any other questions, I can try to clarify or ramble further. Tara says, I have a stopwatch and have calculated my salary with a raise increase for every year I've been making jewelry. My hourly labor rate is $30. Damn, girl, you get paid more than I do. I still don't get paid. I mean, I'm like the wrong person. I'm over here pretending like I'm doing a TED talk on pricing my work, and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So just don't undersell yourself. Do case studies to see what market industry standard is for those pieces, whether it's leather corsets or whether it's, um, giant sculpted mushrooms, just whatever. Like, Sabea says, I stood up today. Man, it was hard, but so, so satisfying. Oh my gosh. Yee. Art Girl says, you're doing amazing fun considering heart-wrenching loss and what you were going through. We are grateful to be included in creation of Millie's memorial. Thank you guys for being here. Like, I feel way better hanging out with y'all and chatting and stuff than, honestly, than I thought I would. I thought I would still be blowing bookers at you. Right on, Donna. Oh, I'm so glad to be useful to you. And this is a cup that my good friend Christina gave me, and it is just, like, my favorite. But it can feel a little stifling. Like I didn't know how to take a step forward. And sometimes you just have to take a step forward, and that's how we do it. Okay, and then keep doing that. So now I'm going to be taking these quartz crystals, and I am just smushing this Cos clay all over their butts, but not too high up, just over like the booty part. Tara says, I got a commission for a big wall tree with sodalite chip leaves and a moon. Nice. That sounds like, how big? Like, because that's going to be awesome. Okay. Time to make everybody cry again. This first one, I want to remember Millie opening up bottles of water in our bed. She loved chewing up water bottles because there at the beginning she wouldn't take to any of like the toys and stuff, so we'd put rocks in a plastic water bottle, and it was always supervised. But and I'd shake it and she'd get all excited and we'd throw it and she'd just run. She was so full of energy. Like if I thought I was sedentary before, oof. She was my little shadow for well, not even a few years, but it's all right. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to decide which side I want to be the front, and I'm going to lay it down that way. It was quite a surprise. Donna said the first time she did that must have been quite a surprise. Well, it only happened the once. Hey Kelly, Millie passed away on Monday. Yeah. Pro says, I'm so glad Caroline and I were able to meet her. I miss her smile. Yeah. Us too. She was such a cheeseburger. Like, she never met a stranger that she didn't want to be best friends with. Not a single time. And she would do this little, like, submissive smile, where she just showed all of her teeth and, like, put her head down and, like, stick her butt up in the air, wagging her tail, just like... Such a goober. Thank you, Benjamin. And it's whenever I get to feeling like this that I'm like, lost, I got to have her for a whole year. They do, and it never is enough, really. So now I'm just going to pinch off another bit, and yes, definitely going to miss her squeaking toys. I get you, Margaret. Right, Sandy. Her boo. She had such a cute little bark. Except for whenever she was hollering like a demon. But the rest of the time, she had a really. And she only pulled out her demon roar for when she was wrestling with Z. Yep. Yeah, Judy. Like, I'm not quite ready yet, I don't think, to go back and watch all of the vlogs, but I'm glad that they're there. Ooh, Boca says, thank you for those ideas on pricing. Do you reckon it's okay to concentrate making what I like the look of to the exclusion of other stuff, like smooth versus cut stones? Oh my god. Yes, 100%. As someone who's been doing this professionally since 2008, we have seen our most success whenever we just lean into what we're passionate about as opposed to what is trendy. Now, sometimes those two things align. Sometimes I'm passionate about steampunk and it's trendy, but I didn't stop doing steampunk just because it wasn't trendy. Whenever the trend fades and your passion remains, you now are one of the most unique vendors in the room, regardless of where you are, because um, everybody else is following the trends. Like, I remember we went to a craft show one year and everybody was selling fidget spinners. Um, okay, but pro steampunk rules? It does. But, and like fairy stuff, like right now, like mushrooms are like, and gnomes and stuff are like super trendy. You can find them in all the craft stores. But whenever we were doing mushroom sculptures prior to that, it's we just stay your course, follow your passion, because you're certainly going to enjoy what you're doing more if you follow and make what you're interested in, as opposed to what you think, everyone else might be interested in. Now, also that being said, um, don't think that just because you don't like something that it won't sell. So give yourself room to experiment and, make disasters that you feel like are disasters but somebody else feels like are art, because you never know when that's going to happen. But there's nothing wrong with sticking true to what you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, the joy that you get out of your work is what you have left when the money is spent. And so when, you know, uh, inevitably the ebb and flow of business, when sales slow down, if you're just doing it for the money, you're going to find yourself listless and aimless and, not creatively inspired. And it's hard to be creatively inspired when bills are looming, anyways. But if you stick to what you're passionate about, and sales slow down, it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll do a piece that takes a little longer, lean into it, like that passion project. That's always been the biggest luxury with what Randy and I do, is that we can take the time to do passion projects. Okay. I'd pulled out my ocarinas to test and see how Millie could tolerate my playing the ocarinas, because Z and Sam would always howl as though I were causing them great pain. Hence why I haven't really practiced much of the ocarina. And I even like got her settled in the living room, and then like, you know, she was hanging out with Randy on the couch, and I snuck into the bedroom and started playing my ocarina. And she comes in and she like looks at me like it does her head tilt, and I stop playing, you know, because she's looking at me like, the hell you doing? And then I start playing again, and she straight up smacks me. Like, just does her, like, whenever she's gonna shake paws, and literally smacks me. And I was like, okay. So that was the one time I tried to play ocarina around Millie. But, she was there for every single guitar playing on the 30 days of 30 of learning the guitar. So I almost played the guitar for her every day of her life. So now it's very easy to sit down and play and close my eyes and pretend like Maddie's still sitting there painting at the table with Randy, and Millie's on her dog bed, and Z's on the couch next to me, and Ember's judging all of us from the ottoman. And that's something I'll get to carry for always. She was a spicy ham and cheese sandwich. Ooh, a metal lathe. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for being here. Because the biggest part is I really do think that there's no way we could have given Millie the kind of life that we were able to give her if it weren't for y'all being here and being in our life and enjoying our channel and things like that. Because when Sam and Z were puppies, we were doing about 30 shows a year. So that was 30 weekends a year that we were gone. Which is kind of rough. I mean, we had a house sitter who was living with us at the time. But it was still, you know, I wanted to see my babies grow up. And so getting to have this time with Millie, where really we were only gone if we were going to Tennessee. So that was 3 times. And then 2 vending events. So it wasn't too bad. It was nice to get to spend so much time with her. Yeah. And that was the point that Randy brought up too, Pro. He says because you found her, she was able to have an awesome, loving life. So much better than what she would have ever known. Yeah. Randy had brought up that she'd have never made it past Parvo. And I do like to think that we tried to give her as close to a puppy paradise as we could here. And so if there were any way to give her a little taste of heaven, because I know that her being here, that's one more person that I get to be excited to see one day. Hopefully, her dog, but you know, I don't do a whole lot of peopling, so I'm trying real hard to stock up on doggies and stuff, so. Yeah, same, Lisa. So I would give her these massages. This crystal is for her party nipple. And let me explain. Um, I would like to chill her out when she was a puppy. She would lay on her back and like all spread, like arms supermaned over her head, legs super far out, and I would just like rub her paws and then like rub down her arms and then rub her tummy and just like try to like soothe her. But also, whenever she would get like briars and stuff stuck in her paw, I needed her to be familiar with me being all up in her personal space. So like I'd tickle between her toe beans and like, but keep it all chill. Um, and I was able to do that one last time. But there was once, I remember the very first time that, I gave her a little belly rub down. And I remember the last time. So it was really nice to get to be with her. But she had like one nipple that was just really big compared to all of her other nipples. And so we called that one her party nip. So that one's for her party nip. This one is for, we called her Grandma Millie, so for a little while, so that we could be like, Grandma, get out of the trash. Or Grandma bit me again. And I remember it made Maddie roll her eyes like really hard at us. And, which of course made it even funnier. Oh, I didn't do this on the last two. Grandma bit the mailman. I mean, she never did, but we would just sit there and playing with her and say all the different things that Grandma's under the table. Grandma chewed up a sock. Grandma had an accident in the living room, says Randy. No, yeah, keep the questions coming, you guys. Okay. Could you give us some ideas of things to make other than the usual? Well, what do you mean other than the usual? Oh. Randy, no, Grandma heard that in a vlog and lost it. So my biggest recommendation is for, at least in a booth setup, don't make anything that you can't display. Because if I make one of something, I want to have enough room to display around 5 of them. That way it can sell well. And so sometimes that can take a whole lot of creativity. But it's, so if you want to sell circlets, because those are something that I might consider out of the usual for like, your standard Muggle craft show. Whereas if you go to like a convention or a Ren Fair or something, you're gonna have a couple of people selling them probably. But just however you have it, if it's out of the usual, have it displayed in a way that it is very clear to understand. Everybody thinks our ear cuffs are finger rings, even with them attached to a fake ear display, to where it's very clearly an ear cuff. Oh, Connie, I'm sorry I missed your question. Where did you find the long spike charms? I got those on Amazon. They should be linked in the video with the Romanov pendant tutorial. Huh, that's odd. I honestly didn't think I had monetized this video. I talked all about myself and you missed it twice. Oh no, Tara, I'm so sorry. Jennifer says, my father passed away last month, and one of the last things he had talked to me about was getting a second dog since my girl is 8, is a heart of a home now. I have 2 new boy pups. I'm exhausted. Yeah, Millie gave our home a sense of continuation and like new puppy vibes. Because she showed up in our life like 2 weeks before we lost Sam. Before his cancer overtook him and it was time to say goodbye. aside from jewelry, I've made some beautiful bookmarks. I'm thinking about dream catchers, says Boca. Yeah, right on. I don't know, I would just try to, like, maybe like a cute, like, little index card bin or something, maybe a little longer that you could flip through if they're bookmarks, or, you know, for making things like dream catchers, you'll want to have something you can hang them from. Oh, I haven't tried that. Silver vine powder. Not as messy as catnip. And the cats like it better. Right on. Ember really likes valerian root, but she digs catnip as well, and quite frankly, my house is so messy we don't even notice if there's herbs or chopped up roots all over the place. Crafting it out too, Jennifer. I said I have a dot. What's a dot? Ooh, Haunted Rambling says, I'm so looking forward to the Kansas City Ren Fest this year. That's a nice one. I'm making a wreath crown with real antlers. Any suggestions on best way to fasten the antlers? Okay, so I'm going to use this to demonstrate. Pretend for a moment that this is a bit of foam or something. And I would recommend putting it around your head. And by foam, I mean like a 5 to 10 millimeter, like crafting foam. Like EVA foam or something. Like the, hey Randy, what's the name of those sheets of foam that we get at Hobby Lobby? Like Squiddly Doo or something? Something ridiculous. But you know what I mean? It's a closed cell foam, I think. Well, anyways. So this would be like your noggin, and you'd make it to where it goes over. Yeah, so this is your face, right? Silly winks. This stuff. What did I call it? Yeah, well, okay, silly winks. Thank you, Randy. Millie ate her baby blanket and it got impacted in her intestines while we were gone, and by the time we got home, it was too late. In a nutshell. Okay. And I am trying really hard to not blame myself because I knew she had a problem with chewing stuff up. But it was her baby blanket and we were going to be gone for like a week. Okay, this is not accurate. Like, this isn't what I think you look like. I'm just drawing a face on my hand so that you can see. So this is the piece of foam that you could wear like across your head, and I usually have it tie, like if I have a ponytail, I'd have it tie behind my head. And then if this is like an antler, I like to press the antler against the foam, and if you're able to drill, pro gets what I'm putting down. If you're able to drill into the bottom of the antler, be sure to wear respiratory stuff whenever you do that. But I just drill a pilot hole, and then you can fill it with like some resin or some epoxy or something. But that way you can screw into it without it cracking the antler. So have your pilot hole, put it on there, and then do like a rubber washer and or something, and screw through the foam, so the foam will be sandwiched between the washer and the antler. And I then like to use a whole bunch of hot glue. You could also layer a second piece of foam, so if you're going to do that, I'd only do like the 5 millimeter. in that way, you can have your antlers oriented, and then you can put that on, and you could either have that put in like as a thing where like then you put your wreath around it to where it's two separate pieces. That way you could choose to wear it with or without the wreath. But that's the best way I've been able to find to counterbalance the weight of the antlers pushing pushing in on your temples. Erica says, I'd say don't quit your day job, but this is your day job, bruh. This is some high quality H2O as far as entertainment goes, okay? Like, I'm grieving. Jesus. Okay. Haunted ramblings. I hope that helped and answered your question. And I just use like 2-inch long screws. Thank you guys for the laughs, by the way. Now it's just gonna look like existential horror crafting all day, but that's fine. Thank you, Kim. She loved to shake. Like, once she figured it out, that was like her favorite thing. She would jump right to that. Because teaching her from the very beginning, she had food aggression, so I wanted to be able to communicate with her very effectively. And what I mean by that is whenever I would say her name, like we had trained her to wear for like focus training. So I'd have a treat in each hand, and I would say Millie, or I'd be like Millie, and she'd look at my face, like, and so at first she would look at the treats. Z still looks at the treats. I was still working on them though, but at first she would look at the treats, so I would hold it over like my forehead to get her to it. And the second she said, or not said, the second her eyes would meet mine, I'd go yes, and then give her the treat. And we trained that, and it got to where I could hold my hands out to either side of me and wiggle them to like really be pulling her attention, like going like that. And I'd say her name, and she'd look into my eyes, and I'd go yes. And that way, that was where we built. And from there, it was all like signal and word based. So it'd be sit, 5 down. And I guess I was a little predictable, because we'd start with sit, and she'd sit, and she'd have her little baggy pants. It's okay, Z. And then we'd move to give me a 5, shake. Then she'd shake my hand, and then I'd go, and she'd lay down, and then I'd try to get her to roll, and sometimes she'd roll. She didn't really get the hang of that too much. But then once like she got the routine down, kind of, she would just like smack me, sit, roll over, and start get like. And she was such a goober. She was like, "Okay, I did all of them. Give me the treat." I was like, "Okay." I mean, technically. So, same, Anna. Same. Tara says, "You keep missing me, bragging about how awesome I am." Let me scroll. Okay. Spot on the Route 90 sale in upstate New York. It's a 50. Oh, you're participating in the 50-mile long yard sale? Gotcha, Jennifer. Bye, Hawk. Congrats, Tara. Oh, a spot. Okay. Well, that's not nothing. That's a really big deal. Oh, Lisa. Yeah. Can I click the heart button? Boom. Yeah. How you doing in there, Randy?
All right.
She loved chewing on Randy's hands. Like mega, like big time. That was kind of how they interacted, though. Much to Randy's dismay, and to the dismay of his hands. Yeah. Thanks, J-Max. Those are all great memories. Yeah. Oh my god, her zoomies. And she would chase the, her little. We had like this half-length fishing pole with like a hair curler, and I'd go dog fishing. And she would chase the hell out of that. All weekend starting this morning. Well, good luck to you, Tara. I hope it goes great. She did love eating dirt. One time she ate a whole bunch of like chicken poopy gravel dirt and then threw it up all over the rug. We were worried about her. Like, this has been chronic. Like, she was always eating something that she ought not. Gotcha. Thank you, Cindy. Kim says good memories like that last forever. I hope so. I lost my dad when I was 13. And so now all the memories I have of him are kind of pictures. Pictures are a wonderful blessing to be able to have. Like, we have a VHS that has my dad's voice on it, but we don't have Randy had bought a VHS player, but we haven't been able to get it to work yet. We were gonna try to get that video to play and to digitize it. So that'd be really cool, because I'd get to hear him. And so it does ease the pain of the memories fading to have video, and there's no replacing them, but those memories don't have to tarnish so bad. I can keep him bright and shining. And that's something I feel very grateful for, because we don't have a whole lot of pictures of Hazel, Sam and Z's mom. But I've got probably hundreds of hours of footage of Millie and Sam and Z as old men. Right on, Eric. Oh, wow, Anna. What you up to? Yeah, we've really leaned into our work this past week.
I got a memory for you.
Yeah?
For a big cardboard fort.
Oh my god. What even came in that box? Like, it was so massive. Was it the director's chairs? Okay. Amazon sent us. You know how they do that thing where it's like they'll send you a box that you could fit about 8 of whatever you had ordered in? Well, it was one of those, and they were the director's chairs that we use for in our booth. That way, I don't have to get off my butt every time somebody walks up to the table. It just makes me look like I'm about 5 foot instead of 5'4", which is fine. But it's really nice when we're at a show to be able to actually sit for a minute. But the box that it came in was just massive, and so we cut. At first, we just had the box like be there, and I'd like as like a partial baby gate, so we could close one of the pocket doors and have the box in the way blocking the door, so Millie couldn't go and like. It's while we were still potty training her. I had ended up cutting a hole in the box so Ember could go in there and play. And it eventually got to where we cut another hole at the other end of the box. And Millie would just like run through, and it's like, yeah, oh, Kelly. Yeah. I think for a while I would sit in the box with her, wouldn't I? Like, I have a memory of that. I had to have the lid opened up, but
A few times, yeah.
just a few. And I think that's been the hardest part for me is there were so many firsts still yet to have. Like, we were still getting to know her. You know, she was just starting to get used to being a dog. I remember when Randy and I were sleeping in the attic, because that's where we sleep when it's winter, because all the heat goes up there. It's the warmest room in the house. And Millie it was her first time coming up the stairs. And I'd put my hand on Randy's arm, and I was like, Randy, it's her first time coming up the stairs. And then we hear this, just puppy falling down the stairs. And Randy put his hand on my arm and was like, it's her first time falling down the stairs. Oh. And she was just such a sweetie, you guys. She made our life wonderful. It was fun to get to see Z play like a puppy again. You don't often get to see a almost 13-year-old dog play like a puppy with a puppy. And his tail wags and put the curl back in his tail. They'd be making their play noises, and left to his own devices, he didn't really bother chewing on stuff very much. But if he had Millie, or before Millie, if he had his Bubba there to be like, well, I'm gonna chew on it so you can't have it, was their whole dynamic. And he had that with Millie as well. Oh, Jennifer says, how did you get her? I can't remember. I found her in my backyard in mid-June last summer when we were having that triple-digit heat for weeks on end. And she had come into the backyard, I guess, for water. But Maddie was here. And so I took her and I asked the neighbors when their kids came home, I was like, is this y'all's dog? And they were like, yes. I was like, okay, well, I found her in my yard. And then she, like, every time I'd be out there watering my tomatoes, and this is, I mean, a brand new baby puppy, you guys, still had her milk teeth. Her toes were still pink. There wasn't any dirt or anything on them. And she would come over to where I would water. I was doing grow bags on the driveway that year. Terrible decision. I just basically made like dirt bricks in grow bags because it was so hot. It didn't matter how much I was watering them. It just baked every day. It rebaked into an even harder sand brick. Um, but she would come over and she would stand in the shade that I made. And so I'd feed her water out of the hose, like I'd do and she'd drink out of my hand. And she was so small, you guys. That big old sun hat that I wear, because the sun is mean, skyball hot. She would fit. I could hold her up in the crook of my neck, and she would be in the complete shade of my sun hat as well. But she was still the neighbor's dog. And then it was like that Friday before the 4th of July, like a 4th of July weekend. And I went out to put my chickens to bed after a live stream, and she was curled up, like scared of the fireworks underneath my wheelbarrow. And the sun was set, and it was still 103 degrees outside. So I was like, cussing. And it was like, this is my dog now. This is my dog. It's like they can come and get her. Like, this is ridiculous. It's like if I had found like a year and a half old child just bumbling about in my backyard, I'd have had a very similar reaction of anger with my neighbors for like, you got a puppy, why aren't you taking care of your puppy? um so yeah, she was my dog then, and not like 2 or 3 days later, she was just barfing and pooping everywhere, and it turned out it was parvo. So she spent about a week in the hospital, and by that time we had come back, and from dropping Maddie off back home, and Sam saw that he waited for about 3 hours by the back door, and when he figured out that Maddie wasn't gonna come in from the van, he went and he sat down on his dog bed and he just started panting. It's like he had had a brave face on all summer, but his big old cancerous lump was bigger than a volleyball at this point. And it was in the next couple of days that we scheduled the appointment and took Sam in to say goodbye. But he was having such a hard time, he couldn't get up and down the stairs. It was time. So this year, coming back from dropping Maddie off, we got to say bye again. But having come back and losing Sam, having Millie there, needing our absolute full attention, and I knew I needed to be there for her, to train her, to help her to be, especially since she had food aggression and since there's so many negative stereotypes against like pitties and stuff. And she didn't look full pit bull at all, but it was still, it's like I can't have her biting somebody, or she needs to learn manners, I guess, same as everybody. And so I worked with her every single day through my grief, through everything. When I missed Sam, I had her and Z to hold. She brought so much joy to all of us just being here. Yeah, Deb says, think that you got extra time with her after she had parvo. She stayed to help you through some bad stuff, but then she needed to go home. Yeah. That's kind of how it feels. It still sucks, though. I still miss my friend. Thank you, Dahanika. And it just occurred to me I didn't send out a newsletter email today. I don't think I'm going to. But I am going to let everybody who's here know that we are not having an after party today. Y'all, I'm exhausted. My head hurts, my body hurts. Like, I just want to go and, like, lay in bed with Randy and Z and Ember and just probably watch. Ooh, did the new episode of What We Do in the Shadows come out? Okay, I have something I have to confess to you guys. I watched the Twilight movies. Yeah, Maddie was here and she's all like, "Y'all want to watch Twilight?" And we are like, "Okay." That's not how it went at all, but it's we fought it a little bit, but it's her like favorite fandom. Not I don't know if I was supposed to tell anybody that, but well, it was awesome to get to watch the movies with her because, like, through all the cringy everything, Maddie was explaining, like, the deep lore of that apparently had no idea existed about Twilight. And I was completely in the right headspace for it because we had also earlier in the month watched The Conjuring, which I was also in the right headspace for. So it was like the most fun, scary movie I've ever watched. And I think a lot of it too was because Maddie was there, and so it's like we were hiding behind Randy during the scary parts. But so then during watching Twilight, which I've only watched like the 3 movies so far, um, but it was really fun. Like it was like cheesy, cringy, awesome, like just vapid romance, which is really fun, I'm gonna say. Well, now I'm reading the books, and I have to tell y'all, I think I really like Twilight. Go ahead and judge me. I can't help myself. But I completely missed the ball on that one. Like, I think I'm 20 years late to catch the train um, of, like, being a Twilight fan. But I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it now. But, Sabea says, my friends hate watching Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Twilight movies because I explain what was different in the books. Man, that's my favorite way to watch a movie. Like, I had watched. Hey, Randy. What was the name of that movie? Was it Seven Samurai?
Yeah?
That we watched with Ben?
Yeah, 7 Samurai.
Oh my god. Which is a good movie, even if I hadn't watched it with our friend Ben. But our friend Ben, like, man, he if he had done a YouTube video on it, like explaining all the, not necessarily Easter eggs, but just explaining the deep lore of it and like director's notes and all sorts of like, I mean, this man nailed it. Like, he made it so fun to watch the movie, and I learned so much. It was like having the director's commentary but from like a fan's perspective who like makes these other connections, and like, you know, apparently people we had been on the road with had like rubbed elbows with other folks who did this and that with like the movie. And so I'm like, no way, that's somebody I know. Like, and it was really cool to. Tara says, consider yourself judged. I accept it. It's like, I'm trash, I know, it's fine. Just give me my pumpkin spice latte and the whatever the next book is. The second book is coming from Amazon because we couldn't find it at Walmart or at a thrift store. That's how late I am to the train of or the wagon or whatever. Mama Salty, I agree with you 100%. But it's just vapid enough that I can totally like in all the goopy scenes where they're like eating lunch together and she's like biting her lip all dumb like at an apple. I remember being in high school and having a crush on Randy, like when we were still just crushing on each other. So there's like so much empty space for self-insertion, like that. I don't know, it stimulates the imagination, let's put it that way, which is a lot of fun, and it's perfectly distracting. So I'm very, very grateful. And it was so cool to just to get to hang out with Maddie, really. Right on, Rhonda. Right? Oh no, all of this is horribly toxic. Like, there's nothing that I'm like, oh, I want to emulate that in the Twilight books, except for maybe being like filthy rich. That'd be pretty cool. Like, I'd love to have some like rich people problems that I can't even fathom. Like, oh no, what do I do with all this money? guess I'll go be a vampire. Like, I don't know. Right, Mama Salty? Right on, Donna. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's light entertainment. That's kind of what I was looking for, was just like some light entertainment. And probably the most fun part, truly, was Maddie and I had put Randy between us on the couch so that he couldn't like start looking at his phone. Um, because every time he'd like be like, okay, and start like playing his phone game, Maddie or I would like take his phone and be like, no, this is family time. We watch movie. Um, oh, I love Stranger Things. That's a lot of fun. Another one that we watch with Maddie. And my other nieces like it too, which is super cool. But and so like Randy would be poking holes in the plot. And so just watching the debates go down between him and Maddie, and then like something like would happen and we'd squee, or like something ridiculous would happen, and then Maddie and I, okay, so this one's me and this one's Maddie. I can't draw a face. I can guess I can draw a face on it left-handed. No, this one's Maddie because it looks. I'm drawing a little face. This one's me. Slump. Okay. So like we're watching the movie and Randy's sitting in between us on the couch, and something like would happen and Maddie and I would be like and like look at each other like around and so Randy's like, what just happened? And Maddie and I'd be like, oh, like, what do you mean you don't know? Oh no, it was not a gotcha. So it says, it is at Randy Vaughn, Team Edward or Team Jacob? And Randy just replied, Randy Vaughn is Team Plot. And sadly, there's not much of that in these movies. Yeah, but it's like you get to imagine your own plot. Like, just imagine if it were really good, though. That'd be awesome. So, hey, Misty. And that's probably the most fun I had, was imagining that, like, but what if it were really good? And it's like, ooh, yeah. Could, like, replace Edward with the guy who played Dracula from Dracula Untold, and basically just make it the people from Dracula Untold, but they're in high school. Or something. I don't know. But, like, never mind. Writing a good movie is apparently much harder than I think it is. But. But that was a lot of fun. Randy's got a picture on his phone of Millie sitting between Maddie and I while we were fixing to watch. I think it was the second. No, it was the first one. It was the first Twilight movie. We were going to sit down and watch it, and Millie just snuggled in between Maddie and I. And I was like, okay, let's start the movie. She was definitely Team Jacob. I just remember back in high school, like, everybody would run around wearing those clip-on wolf tails. We made and sold clip-on tails for a long time. Deb says, never underestimate the therapeutic value of mindless entertainment. Right on. Randy and I have been watching a lot of Y-Files and cooking shows, which I'm totally digging. Because I don't think either of us has much of an appetite. So watching cooking shows. Ooh, yeah, True Blood. I'm not watching that with my 16-year-old niece. That's. Hey, Randy, can I ask for your help?
Yeah, what's up?
I need a tray table. Okay, bye, Sabea. Keep doing good. We love you. Yeah, like, oop, you okay? And then we watched the Dune movies. The original? Like, was that the original one, or was there one even older than that? I wonder. But the one where, like, it's all pretty decent, I guess. I liked it, but also we had made some drinks. I've finally broken into the mango rum that Propol gave me, I think 2 years ago. God, was that 2 years? I don't know. It was a long time ago. But was it 3 years ago? I don't know. Okay, so I've gotten that shifted over. I'm gonna keep building the crystals around. But whatever, I was in a perfect state of mind to really, really enjoy the Dune movie that. Not the 2019 one? Aw, really? No spoilers. I might end up watching it. Can I ask one more favor of you, Randy?
What's up?
Could you get the oven preheating to 275?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. Oh no. It is. It's really hard. It's just, there's no choice but to carry on. But I don't always know how to, so one foot in front of the other. Apparently drawing hand puppets is an integral part of the grieving process. She loved playing tug so much. She was such a good girl. Tug, 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 and then she'd shake. Oh, I didn't know that the True Blood was books too. Is that like along the same vein of, what was that, Anne Rice? Right on. Good luck to you guys, Witch and Gnome. Hey, Tim. Yeah. We're making her memorial today. Oh no, Benjamin. Please don't apologize at all. Like, it means so much to me whenever y'all share little snippets of your life with us. And I love thinking about Millie. I love being reminded of her because as much as it hurts, these are precious memories. So what we're making right now is her outdoor memorial that I'm going to have hung possibly on the fence over where we buried her, in with the hostas, where she loved to poop. That was like prime pooping time, was all along in that whole bed. But we're gonna hang it there, and then I'm gonna do an indoor shrine kind of with a shadow box, and I'd like to be able to put one of those digital picture frames that can like just cycle through the probably hundreds of pictures that we have of her. And in the shadow box, I'm gonna put some of her, like some of her toys maybe, or just whatever reminds me of her. Like the pink and white gumfrinas that are in the garden right now. remind me so much of her coloration because she was such a pink little puppy. With her spots. Oh, thank you, Benjamin. I think everybody with a pet dreads times like these. But, gosh, we got to have them in our lives. And that's like major, I think. I wonder where these crystals are from. Because not to be this way, they seem too nice to just be like bulk ordered off of like eBay or something. Um, but we covered Sam's grave with crystals that we had dug up from the Ron Coleman mine. Yeah?
She was still small enough to fit in Maddie's chair.
Oh my gosh. Randy says when Millie was still small enough to fit in Maddie's chair. And that's, I think, in our rearrange video. I actually have quite a bit of footage of Millie sitting in Maddie's chair, following me around. She helped me get my life in order, you guys. Like, can a puppy be a life coach? Like, that probably sounds ridiculous, but straight up, like, she really did get me through grieving for Sam. And just kind of getting back on being me. And not just being grieving. Thank you, Misty. It's our least favorite saying now, but one that I don't think there's something more suitable to say is it is what it is. Thank you, Randy. Yeah. No, she was a little blessing. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Z's just really relieved to have some peace and quiet. Cause like I think they were good friends, but she did get on his nerves just in a way that a puppy would and a 12-year-old, 13-year-old dog. Um, so now very seems very pleased to get all of the snuggles and all of the treats. Unfortunately, Z's got his cone on right now because he keeps trying to chew his butt off. But we've started giving him a new supplement that our close friends recommended to us because it helped with their dog. Like her butt grew back, like all the fur on her like lower back and stuff. Um, and so he didn't seem to have much of an appetite, but I've been keeping track, and he's still pooping good, but it still feels like we're running hospice care over here, and all of our Callie and Millie were the ones who were supposed to help us transition into the next chapter of our life. So it was a little bit more of a transition and not just a closing of a book. But now, Ember's 16 and Z will be 13 this fall. And I think it is what it is. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is use way more clay. We haven't tried the neck donut because we don't have one, and we know that the cone works. If we got our hands on a neck donut, but I would likely try it. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do a thing. Okay, this is the top, if y'all will help me to remember. This one's the top. But I'm turning it so that I can position this. I'm gonna set this off to the side. So I'm getting good and sticky with clay now. Which, by the way, my hands have been recovering wonderfully. My friend Lori sent me some horse cream, or it's like a liniment, and it really helps. Now, that's just kind of, I only use that at the end of the day to relieve pain, because I don't want to overdo it through the rest of the day. But that certainly did help. Okay, so I'm starting by making like a little thing, like a wide, weird ribbon, like a little mountain range. Okay, so I think I am going to do this up until it's baked. And then we may do... Oh, April, I love that. It's Millie Kintsugi. I mispronounced that, but it's where you fill in the cracks with gold. Nafiri. Okay. I don't know what's in the ointment. But apparently the same strategy that was utilized to make me bathe as a child, using head, mane and tail, to get me to bathe, also works on me as an adult to get me to take my horse cream from my boo-boo hands. Thank you, Chris. I miss walking with my hounds through the backyard in the night. I've never had to be alone out in the garden. You know, not with Sam or Z or Millie. I always had somebody looking out for me. Z's been my little guardian, as was Sam. And Millie was just my friend hanging out, making executive decisions on what part of the garden needed dug up that day, but she is still my friend. April says it is a reminder to stay optimistic when things fall apart and to celebrate the flaws and missteps of life. I feel like a lot of your projects celebrate this. I like that, April. I like that a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get. Are you long enough? No. There we go. Okay. Sorry, it's doing the triangle thing was going to take me all the ding dong day, but if I just rolled it out, then it was like boom, that fast. The way Randy and I have viewed it quite a bit, I think, is through the lens of there are broken holes in our heart that we might not be able to fill, pieces of us that are missing. But we may not be able to fill them, but we can landscape around them, we can build a bridge over them, and we can get through. So now I have these sitting here, and I've kind of loosely filled in between, and this is the glow clay. But I am just going to take this and start inserting crystals. Kind of randomly. Oh my gosh, Joette. That's very similar to what Millie was putting Z through.
If you try to squish it together without them in there, and then place them on top.
Well, I need to leave space for the actual epoxy sculpt that I'm going to be using, because I'm going to be pulling these pieces away, and then this will be a bone down the center, and then I'll smush it together with the epoxy sculpt, because I don't know how this is going to hold up to baking.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, that's a really good idea. And I would have filled it in a whole lot more, stuffed in the crystals, and then smushed and baked it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're thinking the right thoughts, though, honey. That one's too wide for right there. Yeah. Erica says, although a short time with her, just look at all the happy memories she gave you. Yes. And that's not all the money in the world can buy a puppy's love. Just Loving a puppy is what gets you that. And I'm a lucky duck. So now I'm going to start in on these smaller crystals that came in. More questions, please, if y'all don't mind. Oh, that's perfect. Ooh, Kelly says perhaps use some faux gold foil for the center. I really like that, Kelly. As it's what I'm doing here with the, if y'all remember Randy's sneak snail, I do the glow on the base of the crystals, and then we'll bake those. I'm gonna talk to Randy and see if he's okay with me streaming a little longer today. That even though we don't have an after party, if I just stay till the project's kind of done. I don't think we'll be on until dark today, but I might be able to charge it up in the sun and show you how the crystals look. But I don't know, like, that'd be fine? Okay. Randy lost his baby too. So I'm trying to not be selfish in my grief and just make him be there for me. I'm trying to be available to be there for him. And so I don't want to just drag him through. I don't want to bulldoze his grieving process with mine. And so far it's been going wonderfully. Like, I love holding him. I love loving him. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I prefer not grieving with him, but there's no one else I would rather have by my side when my heart is broken and healing. No, we planted her in the garden with everyone else I've loved and lost. Kitsuki. Yes, I'm baking the spine separately first with the crystals down it. But this part, I think Randy got from, he got it for me. I can't remember if it was from a dollar store or if it was from Fred's. So, but I loved it. I loved it. So it looks like there's a little bit of repairing I'll need to do with the epoxy sculpt, but that's okay. I just don't know how it'll hold up to being baked. It looks like some sort of faux stone, but I don't know if it has like resin or something in it, so I don't want to risk goobering it up. But I am just going to set it off to the side. And you can see on this part, I had already tested, and the epoxy sculpt holds it together beautifully. Like, nice. Whoop, putting the Lazy Susan back on bottom with this big stone pizza thing. Aww. Hey, Yvette. Thank you. Oh, I did this weird clam up thing where I just wasn't talking to anybody. Like, I don't want to like darken someone else's day with my own problems and my own grief. And Randy was like, "Honey, they're your friends. Like, talk to him. I was like, okay, and then promptly didn't. But I don't know what to do with myself when I'm like this. So I'm just gonna get a little more. Nah, I don't want to bother it too much. So I think I am actually gonna leave it just like this. Any additional filling in that we may need to do, I'm going to do with the epoxy sculpt. That will not need baked, but I don't want to dislodge or distort anything. Moving everything in just a little bit. She'd press her little face up against the glass of the door when she wanted in. She always wanted someone to come outside with her to play. It's almost... Okay. Right on, Yvette. I'm going to go pop this in the oven and then stop by the restroom, and I'm going to wash the clay off my hands, and we are going to I'm gonna play the guitar poorly at you for a little bit while this is in the oven. So I'll be right back, you guys. Hey Randy, I'm stuck. Can you come help me? If you could move the table for me. My sim glitch, thank you. You ever had to go in build mode to get your girlfriend out of her crafting corner? think I'm just gonna do a sheet melt in the kiln tonight.
I'll swap that out.
It's no rush.
This one.
Oh, well, hey, you already have it loaded. We'll just do this. Oh my God, when did you get the kiln loaded? Oh. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna get the camera moved over and then we're gonna have some guitar time. Okay, so there's my Z-boy in his cone. I love you, baby. Alright, let me figure out. I think that'll work. Sure. I might not be able to keep up with. Oh, I've been in top chat this whole time. Okay, I do have a timer for the oven. Okay. I'm playing along with Musician. Because I'm not going to say I'm incapable of memorizing music, but it's really tough. So, oh, Valerie, I'm so glad. She says, I received my kit and stones from you, and they are amazing. I'm so glad you like them, Valerie. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how good this is going to be, y'all, but I'm just going to play all the same songs that I was playing for Millie, so...
loved Z's contribution of kicking his, Hey, Lydia. Oh, Stormin, where you are. Right on. I'm glad you think it's soothing. April says this was the song my now 16-year-old son and I danced to every night when he was little. I want to take him to see Owl City here in October. Oh, that'd be so cool to get to see him in concert. Z did like maracas. Yeah. No, it made me remember, like, because we'll often sit like this on the couch, that Z's there, my tablet's there, and I'm here doing my thing. And Millie would come and she would sit here, which whenever I go through trying to like gold star the songs on Musician, it was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna go down the list and play all of them, I guess. I think I'd like to start making little, I can't even call it a concert, but just little jams like this, part of our weekly after parties. Because nothing feels so good as being openly bad at something, just for the fun of it. That, and quite frankly, I don't know what to say if my hands aren't moving. So while the clay is in the oven, Checking on comments. Oh, thanks, Organic. Oh, yes. Excellent, Tim. That's my hope, is that this soothes me, so I'm gonna drag y'all through it with me. Yes. Go get those snugs. Puppy snugs. Oh, I'm so glad to hear he's doing better, Connie. So we still have, I have no idea how long we have until the clay's done in the oven. So I'm just gonna play another song. How do they look?
Not exactly as we planned.
Huh, okay. I see. We'll see what we can do with them.
Do you want me to remove this?
Yes. The key ring?
Yeah.
Yes, please. So I think that might be one that we use for some background music in future tutorials. Hey, B. That's my husky in April. Yeah. This is for all of our broken hearts, I guess. We can miss our babies together. Let's go with something a little more cheerful, I think. Do you have a favorite soft instrumental that you use for your YouTube videos? Yeah, that was me on the guitar from like 2016 though. So I could use something like updated or yeah, no, the one that I usually play um is just a mix I had done of that back in 2016. And then I promptly didn't practice the guitar until like a year ago. But yeah, yep, that's the it's the first like 2 or 3 notes of I was trying to learn Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Um, and was quickly made aware that that was way above my pay grade. Like I was gonna need to practice for like a decade before I could get there. But I liked the way those notes sounded, so well, boogered it up there at the end, but yeah, Laura. Well, thanks, Lydia. It's a lot of fun. It's keeping me company for sure. I wonder how much longer I have on that timer.
I am going to point out
Uh huh.
if this video was monetized. It's no longer yours now.
Yeah, that's fine. If somebody else wants to monetize 3 hours of me crying about my dead dog, that's on them. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just miss my dog. Thank you, Randy.
It's a bit smoky.
Oh, is it? There's probably all kinds of dust and weird crap on that bacon dish.
Yeah.
What you missed? Because you guys missed cream corn and then you got them in the mail. Oh no, what I missed? What I missed this time? I'm still eating on that creamed corn. Hey, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, that was the timer. Randy went and got the stuff out of the oven for me. I'm gonna play like 2 more songs. I'm so dehydrated. I'm gonna play 2 more songs. I don't know which ones, but I think I like that one. Do I? Yes, I do. I love this song. Here we go. And I also don't know how to play it. Let's go. Hey, Tiggy. Thank you. Oh, Deb, that's such a huge compliment. Says, love your music. Miss the days when it was background in your videos. Something in the way you play calms my soul. Oh shit. Thank you, B. Well, it was, but corn. It was you, Yvette. I'm pretty sure. Well, I think Sabea sent us some too, though. Like, she restocked us, so we're still eating on it. We ate up all the Yvette corn, and now we're eating Sabea corn. So I think that I'm tired. And I don't know what to play next. I could play Baby Shark, but I'm not very good at it. They're not particularly any good at any of this, so I could play Backstreet's Back. I'm tired. What's that one? I think I like this one. Are they all rectangular like that?
Yeah.
Bah. We'll figure it out. So I think the stuff should be cooled enough by now. The concert's over. Thank you guys for sitting through it. And let's get back to, I say concert, but that was just a practice session, you guys. Like, maybe one day. Hey, Lydia. No, it's all good. And let me get you set up, honey. Perfect. Can I hand this back to you? I don't think it's melting the table at all.
Where do you want it?
Just on the shipping table. Thank you. Okay, we're going for a ride, guys. Whee! So this is how it's looking baked. And I think I'm gonna go get a touch of saran wrap. All right, Darcy. I'm thinking when I get a bit better, like where there's no like buzzy accident notes, or maybe just when I can edit it down to be my best playing, I may try to get some recordings and like layer it with like thunder and rain, and you know, like next time we go camping I'll just like set up a well, to specify, next time we go camping in the rain, which it rains every time we go camping, so it'll be fine, but like mixing in like the waves on the shore out at Stockton Lake, or the thunder, you know, over a valley or something, like that'd be pretty cool. And I'd be putting that up for like night music over on the Monster Vlog. Because apparently, and I'm going to take this the best way possible, I'm good at putting people to sleep. So, but hey, if I could bottle that, I'd be a millionaire. So, oops. Okay. So I don't want to melt the saran wrap I'm actually going to get some fresh saran wrap because I don't want this stuff to get all dusty and gross. Oh, are they done? Well, then I'm going to have to go storm hunting or something. So this is wax paper. Okay. Which that's still quite hot. But I'm gonna flip this. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. I'm gonna flip this around this way so that y'all can see. Hopefully. I'm just running the tissue blade to delaminate our crystals from our stone block. And then we'll flip the camera back around. And in an effort to not burn my fingies, I'm going to grab. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, it broke. Shit. Okay, well, only 3 of the kind of teeth fell out. Ow, these are still very hot. Why are you like this? Okay, ow. Oh, the landslide brought me down. Hey, Ember. Thank you. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some super glue. I will be right back. Or did we use it all up? Well, it looks like we used it all up. Okay. I don't know where it might be. Okay, so this is, I found my graveyard of mostly used super glues. So I'm going to try to make sure, because the thing is with the cosplays, it's still quite flexible. which puts us into a little bit of a position where it's like, where it'll kind of pop it out because there are teeth in the gums without a structure to support it. But that's why we're putting it in here in the crevice, is it'll give it that little bit of support. Hopefully, was the idea. So I'm just checking to see how these fit. Is that where you go? Oh, the landslide brought me down. Took my love and I took it down. I think that's how you fit. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. See, you have to squeeze the heck out of these. I think that one's done for. Oh, I had it and then I lost it. How did you go in here? Snow covered landslide brought me down. And now I'm not going to be counting on just the super glue to be holding these in place. I just need it to hold until we've gotten the epoxy sculpt built up around it. Nobody knows how to say goodbye. Seems so easy till you try. Love me back. Okay, so I've gotten that transferred on. Very cool. Let me find some gloves. Nobody knows how to get back home. He had it out so long ago. Search the heavens and the earth below. Nobody knows how to get back home. So I'm probably going to end up mixing just a whole bunch of these, a whole bunch of batches of this. So I'm not going to worry about trying to get it all done in one go. I'd rather get good mixing, like nice and thoroughly mixed each batch. And if I mix too large of a batch, then I'm not going to get good mixing. Just because it's going to wear my hands out too. So, does anybody have any questions or anything? The floor is open. Okay, so whenever I tear it and there's no marbling from the lighter gray, that's when I know that it's like, alright, yeah, I'm ready. You can start using it. And I like using it while it's at its like stickiest. Yeah, sure, Stephanie, go. Go for it. So I am focusing on putting the epoxy sculpt on like the lower portion. If I were to use it in polymer clay molds, and I have no evidence to back up why I feel this way, but if I were to use it in polymer clay molds, I would have separate molds just for the epoxy sculpt, just because I don't know what science might happen between if there's any residues left over. It's very similar in my mind to how I would use separate molds and things for precious metal clay than what I would polymer clay. So Organic says the clay is expensive. Yeah, but worth it, I think. Its durability, its sandability, you can drill it. It does exactly what I need it to without being temperamental. It holds up really well to the being existing and in the outside world. I feel like when a thing does all of those things that well, I'll pay for it. And now I can kind of get some little peeksies. Okay. Stephanie, what I'll do for that is I will update the video itself with the links. Thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you for being here and a part of what we do. Y'all are literally getting me through this. But I'll update the video description, and if you sign up for our newsletter, whenever I do that, I'll send out the newsletter with the links. But that's not something that I'll be able to just, it's going to take me a few hours to sit and compile everything. Though now I do know for next time we do a video like that, I'm definitely going to be more careful about like letting y'all know the item numbers and different things like that, all that pertinent information. That seems very, very obvious in hindsight, yet here I am. So now that I've done that main little like noodle snake, oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm going through and filling in any gaps and texturizing with just a ball stylus. And I just want to make sure that I'm not getting in between the crystals and the clay. I don't mind getting between the crystals with the epoxy sculpt, but I don't want to get, especially this guy who's like pretty loose, I don't want to block off any of that glow color from coming through from the bottom of the crystal. And really, I probably should have built up more glow-in-the-dark clay around the bases of these, but we'll see if that was necessary. Even in making up a memorial, I'm still experimenting and learning. So yeah, to avoid any more crystals falling out, I'm just packing this in between. And I really only need these gloves on for when I'm I only need the gloves on for when I'm mixing clay. So no sense in... if I get a rash, so be it. Yeah, Stephanie. Oh, I'm so glad to be helpful to you. I don't think I'll be painting the stone. I don't know, maybe a little bit. We'll see. There's no telling. Now, I do have wax paper down because I'm hoping that that will I'm hoping that that will not stick. Sorry, lost my train of thought. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't want the epoxy sculpt to stick to my Lazy Susan. So I'm hoping that if I do this wax paper, I think y'all get what I'm laying down. Wow. Deb says it's good that you were sharing ways to cope with grief by creating. That concept saved my life and sanity a couple years back. Deb, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know any other way. Other than just sitting down and crafting it out. Because had just finished writing out the last tales of grieving Sam. As last as it gets. You never stop missing someone you loved. But like, while we were in Tennessee, it actually said to my friend Tracy, we were sitting on her couch, she had made me probably the most delicious sugar-free caramel macchiato. Definitely the most delicious sugar-free caramel macchiato, but almost, I think, the best caramel macchiato I've ever had, just sugar or not. And we were talking, just catching up. And, I had said to her, I looked her in the face, I was like, I feel like I'm finally coming out of my grief for Sam. Like, I was feeling creative again. I was having, like, ideas and feeling inspired and looking forward to our future and not feeling like I was just trying to keep my head above the water and trudge on. And, I feel like I have been thoroughly put back in my place. Like, oh, hey, grief, we're doing another round, okay. Let's go, I guess. And just trudging through it. But I'm nothing if not relentlessly optimistic, and losing Sam, or losing Callie, and then in the same year losing Sam, and then almost directly a year later losing Millie. Part of me feels like I don't know how much more I can take. Another part of me feels like most of me feels very, very blessed. You know, what a life this is that I get to live with my babies that I love. And even though I'll lose them one day, that's just, life is all about letting go or something, right? So, when in doubt, craft it out. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. Mama loves me. I know. It is probably treat time, isn't it? I usually bribe you for some snuggles with some treats right now. We were in Tennessee taking Maddie back. Millie chewed up her baby blanket, her kennel towel, on Saturday, and our house sitter was like, cleaned it up and didn't think anything of it because Millie was just being her regular self, and they kept an eye on her and stuff. And I trust their judgment. Millie's been getting into everything since day one, so. But then whenever we got home on Sunday, she had
you know, they let us know she had had terrible diarrhea that they had cleaned up. And she was just progressively worse and worse through the night. And it was an hour drive to get to the emergency vet. And so, you know, or we could wait the 3 hours until, you know, our local vet opened. And by the time we got her to the same vet that she survived parvo with, that's where she was hospitalized. They got her in. We were all hopeful that they'd be able to, you know, just take it out of her stomach, remove whatever might be in her intestines, like. And so I just gave her a quick kiss and, you know, said, I'll see you after surgery. And then they got her open, and the vet said that it is the worst case she has ever seen of just the tangled mass. And I feel so responsible because it's, you know, I had made the decision. I was like, we're gonna take her kennel mattress out because she tore that up last time, and I didn't want this happening, you know. But I was like, well, we are gone for a week, and I don't want her to feel lonely. And so, I mean, I made the decision to put her blanket in there because I was like, well, she's never chewed it up before, you know, or to leave it in there. And man, if I could have a takesy-backsies, but I can't dwell on things like that. It is what it is. But she was my friend. And it's been hard because, gosh, like I had said, oh God, I think my phone's fixing to die. Uh-oh, sorry, clicking fan. Oh, I'm at 2%. Guys, I think the phone is gonna die. If it does, this will be the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. I'm not gonna get epoxy sculpt in my eyes. We will post pictures on the internet or something. Like, we'll show you. I'll probably I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me see, is it at 1% yet? It's still at 2%. Hey Randy, is there anything on the fast charger?
No, you want me to bring it to you?
Yeah, oh my God, that's a way better idea. I was gonna try to make a run for it. Okay, I'm gonna get this flipped back around. We might not be ending just yet, but we'll see. Oh, this is a much better idea. Thank you, honey. I know, you're at 2%. There we go. All right. We'll see if this still, if this keeps working. But yeah, I really wanted to get this done all in one go. And I know that I'm mega depressing probably today, so like, please don't feel obligated to like hang out or anything. I really appreciate y'all's company. But yeah, that's actually exactly how I ended up feeling about it when it was all said and done. Oh. Donna says 8+ years grieving my son and still feeling like I'm treading water. Not sure how to or if I can get past that stage of my grieving. Dude, I don't even know. If we lost Maddie, I can't even bear to think of it. And I have no advice to give. It's been 20 years since I lost my father. I mean, I didn't lose him. I know where he went, but it's... I don't know. It hurts in new ways all the time. Never a dull day when you've got a heart full of people you miss. I like to garden and create to honor them. I burn a lot of candles. And to just try to cherish their memory. What else can we do? And I don't think the pain gets any lighter, but we're strong and resilient. We carry it with us. If it helps at all to know you're not alone in your pain, we all carry so much unseen. Any spaces that are too tight for the ball stylus, I use my porcupine quill on. Yeah, that batch size seems to have been pretty good. Because it's just now starting to get, it's still malleable, the epoxy sculpt is. But, and truly, I don't think that this epoxy sculpt is particularly more expensive than if I had just used straight polymer clay. Hey, Misty. Thank you for the hugs, digital or otherwise. No. It's... we're running a little bit of a hospice care here in the house, so we budget for, like, we've got a pet fund that is a little bit of an emergency fund that we keep things set up, but no, it's, I don't want, I don't want any money for my pet dying. Thank you, though. Like, maybe, donate to, like, your local shelter, or get something nice for your own pet. But it's, I'm not about to get bills paid off of Millie passing. Thank you, though. That's really generous. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The best way to help ourselves, or to help us, is to help yourself. Or to send me rocks, because I do like rocks.
Actually, that would be pretty amazing. I think the post office would absolutely shit. But if you want a rock on Millie's Carn, y'all can, and Sam's too. Y'all can send us a rock in the mail, and we'll put the rock on her Carn. I think that might be a nice way of going about it. Hey Randy, is it okay if everybody sends us a rock if they want to?
That's gonna get kind of complicated with the mail, I think.
That sounds like a USPS problem.
But also rocks are heavy.
So just send us one rock, not too heavy. I mean, they had how much fake fruit sitting there waiting for us?
Yes, I'm aware.
And the bag of fake bread wasn't even in a box. Yeah, one of y'all sent us one rock, not cream corn. Exactly. J-Max has it figured out. Ooh, no corn, I bet. I don't know where I'd put it. Damn, she said. Haters. It just, I mean, I don't even know what the folks at the post office might think of us, but there's no telling. With all the odd things that have passed through our P.O. box. Paint a corn on the rock. Oh, that's really cool of her, Lydia. Yeah, nothing bigger than like fists, I don't know, than like this. But I am building a cairn over Millie of rocks. And so if anybody feels compelled to send anything, you're more than welcome to send a rock to add to the pile. I'll be right back.
It really pisses your ghost off and put logs on top of it.
Logs? We may. Just put a stick. That'd be awesome, Valerie. Because I'd kind of like to make like a dish out of probably epoxy sculpting rocks. So any smaller rocks that y'all send, I'm probably gonna make a dish for leaving little presents for Millie in. Because I think it'd be really cool to put like, to build up the cairn and then set like a bird bath on it. Just make it a spot celebrating life. In fact, I'd love to make a fused glass bird bath. But we'll have to see how that goes. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. It's a pile of rocks, basically, just to mark the place of something. I think it's spelled C-A-I-R-N, maybe, I don't know. But it's what we innately did for Hazel when she passed away. We just stacked stones, and anytime instead of just brushing off, from like a headstone, you'd brush off the leaves and debris and stuff. But I restack the cairns, just as a cairn, pile of rocks. Super special pile of rocks. Oh, Valerie, she said, do you think you guys would be getting another puppy anytime soon? No. I don't think so. We're kind of in this odd limbo of, oh, also my niece, my eldest niece is going to college about an hour from here. So she may be staying with us for a while, and it's just I feel like our home may be entering a state soon of massive upheaval with if we're able to move to Tennessee. I don't know, that just it feels like that's what our life is building up towards, because in the past like 2 months, 2 of my chickens have passed away, as have 2 of my rabbits, and then now losing Millie. It just feels like whenever we do go on to our forever home, or whenever we buy our property, I'm afraid we won't have any family to bring with us, not for babies at least. So I think I'm going to cherish what time we have with Ember and Z before starting a new chapter. So it's probably going to be 2 or 3 years. At least Ember's in exceptionally good health. But for all I know, it could be, in a month from now, we'll be doing... I can't even think that without just dying inside. I don't know. There's no telling. There's no telling, y'all. Cairn. Yeah, it's been a lot of upheaval. But, man, it was so nice having Maddie and Abby here, and then, getting to see my sister and my youngest niece over the summer also. Well, in the Midwest, I say Cairn. Care, like care. Karen. Karen. Okay. But yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. Oh goodness, Kelly. Because I, at the very least, wanted to show y'all the main construction down the center of this. Oh, well, hey, the phone must be it's still at 2%. Charging or just holding on for dear life? You and me both, phone. Oof. Hey, Larice. It's so good to see you in chat. How are you doing? But yeah, Randy calls it borrowing trouble. I don't want to be borrowing trouble. But that's exactly where I go. And so, when in doubt, craft it out. Through the darkness to the dawn. When I looked back, you were gone. Was my feet to have gone through the darkness to the dawn. Oh.
remember is Maddie going blah 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 on Millie's lips with her foot. Millie's silly little froggy squat. The way she bunches up her face when I would hula hoop. And she was like, "No, Mom, don't do that." And she'd come in, like, paws up, being like, "Stop, woman." And then get hit in the face with the hula hoop because she'd walk into it. It's like she'd gather all her jowls up like they were petticoats or something, and then come in at me like, "It's okay, I'll save you from the hula hoop." She liked chasing and popping bubbles. Yes, Valerie, the crystals are going to do, hopefully, this super wicked thing with just the glow in the dark underneath them. It, like, illuminates, like, fiber optics through the whole crystal. It is so cool. Or at least that's what it did on Randy's sneak snail that I had made him. So, yeah. But I feel like Millie being in my life post Sam, and I don't want to make it out that she's like a rebound dog or something. That is not what is going on here. But she did save me from myself through my grief because I didn't know how I was going to carry on. Like, I didn't. I forget what I was going to say. She kept me myself through losing Sam. She let me know through falling in love with her. Because you can't but fall in love with a puppy, you guys. Like, she just stole my heart away. I had no choice in the matter. But, the crushing feeling of just loneliness and everything that losing Sam was leaving me with, my fear of Z being alone and missing his brother. It's all of that Millie helped with so much. And so it almost seemed like, in a way, to take care of her was to take care of me. Very Life of Pi style. You know, taking care of the tiger kept him alive. Taking care of the Millie kept me me. Oh, I'm so glad they arrived safe, Misty. My brain hurts from crying. Yes, very much, Deb. Okay, so now I've pressed that piece together. I'm going to try to line it up a little bit more. And now I'm going to fill in the gaps here. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Randy. I just had an idea. Instead of using a whole buttload of this epoxy sculpt to attach the edge crystals, what if I just, like, laid out
I don't know, like a bunch of like plastic wrap or something, and in this thing, and did just a resin pour of like black resin to set all the crystals in.
Ah,
Like I'd still use the epoxy sculpt initially to position them.
maybe.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's an interesting concept for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna finish this step and keep pondering on it. Ooh, chemical interactions. Well, I'd probably be letting the epoxy sculpt cure first, and then we shouldn't have to worry about it. In my experience so far, the resin has held up really well. Um, no, this stuff, we did the baking step already, where we did the glow in the dark on the base of the crystals, as well as like the little bone spine down the center. I don't know why I think of it like that, but just the ridge of glow in the dark. Um, but the epoxy sculpt says mix and knead together for 2 minutes until thoroughly combined and a uniform color is achieved. Epoxy sculpt is ready to use. Working time is 1 to 3 hours. Shape is desired. Smooth or texture with a wet finger, brush, Q-tip, or sculpting tool. Self-hardens, no baking. 24-hour full cure to a rock-hard semi-gloss finish. Yeah. But, I really like this stuff. So no baking necessary, and then so we're just kind of adding on to it in little bite-sized layers. We could add some glitter. I might go to the black resin and add some sparkle to it. Oh, yes. Like, actually, I'd probably pour the resin and then start placing additional smaller crystals. So I may go with a slow cure. And we could just do glow pigment in the resin and then paint the surface. That way, it does through the crystals the same as what we're doing here. Now that may not be what we tackle today though. Today I think I am just going to focus down the center and a river of memories. What's up, big boy? Yeah? Well. Me too, Deb. I love this one as well. Oh, I think one of y'all had asked. This is a little like yard plaque that we got, gosh, back whenever I think I was either still in high school or just recently graduated from high school. Randy got it for me either from a dollar store or from Fred's. I can't remember where we were when we were shopping, but I saw it and I just absolutely loved it because like all of my bedding and everything, like all through middle school and high school and even now, some of the comforters have they were the blue comforter with like the orangey gold sun and moon on it. So I just loved it, and it lasted for quite a while, but then it broke one winter, I think.
And I've always saved the pieces because #hoarding. Yeah.
I'm curious. I think it's still too bright.
I think you're right. Let me take this outside and set it in the sun in just a moment. Because I'm like real close to being done with the center part.
Gotcha.
So otherwise I'm gonna be real frustrated if that didn't work.
Well, I mean, doing all this work, I'm curious if it paid off.
Yeah. Could you hold the camera for me as I test that?
Yeah, how you gonna test it?
I'm gonna take it outside on the front porch where I need a bigger lamp. So I'll just use the sun.
Right.
And then we'll come back in, and if you open up those 2 curtains into the forge room, then I can I basically just need you to hold the camera for me.
Well, before you do that, come look at the forge room.
Oh, okay.
I think it's too bright in there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll switch off those lights. But I was gonna hide between the curtains.
Ah.
You know what I mean now?
I think we took down the second set, didn't we?
Well, I can still wrap myself up in them.
What I'm saying is the sun is coming in through the window.
I get you. If you trust me,
Yeah.
then just hold the camera.
I'll try it.
Okay. And if not, then we'll figure it out. I'll hide in some other weird part of the house.
Also, what's
Uh-huh.
your phone's percentage?
Oh god. 1%.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna make it,
I don't
boss.
think we're gonna make it.
Okay, can you turn off the fairy lights in here? I'm gonna go set this in the sun real quick. It's not perfect. I still need to get in between these, but I'm at 1%, so we're hurrying. Oh god, there's a box there. Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
As much as I can do. Oh, wow.
Y'all, that's freaking awesome. So yeah, I'd say it works. It's a blue glow, which I think is appropriate. But yeah, so that's pretty neat. So that is how it'll look for like 10 minutes after the sun sets every day.
More or less. Is it HTML1?
And that's going to be the crystals, yeah, all around it are hopefully going to have that effect as well. So this is Millie's memorial so far. Thank you guys so much for being here, for being you, and I will see y'all next time. So give everybody you love a hug, and I'll see you in Monday's shop update. There is no after party today. I think Randy and I are going to go hold each other and grieve for a bit. Okay, Kelly. But yeah, thank you guys. This helped. It was nice to get to share this with you. So happy crafting, you guys. Mwah. Bye.